All right, mic check, 1 2 1 2, and 3 2 1. All right, it's the Logan Ward Show. Welcome in Game 5 reaction of the NBA Finals. Look, this series has been extremely close, and I think closer than what most people coming into the series were thinking. And the Thunder now up 3-2, 120-109. One thing that I thought about this game, it was interesting because I felt like this in Game 1 and felt like this here in Game 5, where it didn't really matter the runs that Oklahoma City were going on throughout the game. Somehow, you would look up at the score, you look at the score bug, and you're like, how in the world is Indiana still only down 6? How are they only down 9? And it was just a game where they're just still sticking around. I mean, at one point it became a 1-point game late in the third quarter or the fourth quarter, and it was like, okay, this is going to be a really good game to start or to finish. And then you would see Oklahoma City do what they've done throughout this season, which is getting to that point where they're like, all right, defensively, we're going to really clamp down, we're going to cause turnovers, and we're going to make this like a living nightmare for this team. So yesterday, the Pacers had 23 turnovers yesterday compared to the Oklahoma City Thunder's 11. That has felt like the entire series. If whoever wins the turnover battle has seemingly won the game. You know, there was that game where the Pacers had 19 first half turnovers, and it was like, okay, Oklahoma City's going to run away with this one. The Game 4, you had the Thunder turning the Pacers over, really couldn't get into rhythm. Game 3, the Pacers had just clamps defensively on the Thunder, and the Thunder were uncharacteristically turning the ball over. So you had whoever's really won the turnover battle has won these games. And yesterday, the Pacers are plus 12 in the turnover margin, and that's the game. So I do think that Jalen Williams, who had a fantastic game yesterday, the Thunder got Jalen Williams, J-Dub, and Chet Holmgren in the same draft. We know what kind of GM Sam Presti is and how great of a job he has done. Yesterday, Jalen Williams was unconscious. I mean, it was 40 burger. And you know what's funny is because, so looking at the box score, Jalen Williams had 40 points, 6 rebounds, 4 assists. Shea had 31 points. He got to the line a lot more this game than he did in previous games, 13 for 14 from the line. Then after that, you had Aaron Wiggins with 14 and Cason Wallace with 11. That was it. That was your scoring. Chet Holmgren had 9. Lou Dort had 9. Hartenstein had 4. And this thing, I was looking at Instagram earlier and I saw this stat and I was like, this is really telling. And honestly, quite remarkable that this was the case. Jalen Williams, an SGA, or this is SGA, who had 31 last night. SGA now has the most games with 30-plus points and 5-plus assists in the postseason. He has 12 of those here in the 2025 playoffs. 30-plus points, 5-plus assists. Here are the other people in that category. LeBron James in 2015, 2017, and 2018, and then Michael Jordan in 1989 and 1990. Those are the only people on the list, and SGA is at the top of it. SGA got to the free throw line a lot more yesterday. Still shooting the ball 42% from the field. He was 9 for 21 from the field, but was 13 to 14 from the free throw line. So this game, nothing on paper should tell you that this was a close game. And there, with about 4 minutes left in the fourth, it kind of became a little bit of an Oklahoma City run there at the end. Indiana had brought it back within 4, I believe. They had a couple of really good shots and good possessions and got it within 4, and then after that it was just turnover. And the Thunder were able to kind of capitalize on that lead. But everything in the box score says the Thunder should have ran away with this, and they kind of did. They had plus 11 in the turnover margin. Their 2 best players, Jalen Williams and SGA, combined for 71 points. That right there alone should probably win. On the other side, you had Tyrese Halliburton, who played 34 minutes, was clearly hurt, and just didn't play well. Right? He got hurt in that game. He was 0 for 4 from 3, 0 for 6, didn't make a field goal attempt, only had 4 free throw attempts and made all 4. He ended with 4 points, 6 assists, and 7 rebounds. And it was really Pascal Siakam just trying to make things work. TJ McConnell, shout out TJ McConnell, comes into the game, in that third quarter, provided that spark to keep the Pacers within it, because it could have gotten ugly if TJ McConnell really didn't single-handedly take over the last 8 minutes of the third quarter. He finished with 18 and 4. But this has been a great series. And this is kind of, to me, the bigger point of the NBA. A lot of people are talking about the NBA like it's over. That this is a lost cause because they don't have the numbers that the NFL do. They don't have the gravitas and the cultural relevance that they used to back in the early 2000s. But this is, a conversation that I think a lot of people should be having of is parity good for the NBA? But this series, regardless, has been really good. And despite it being Oklahoma City and Indiana, you've had 2 really good teams that are playing really good basketball, and these games have been, despite the media, despite, to be honest, even me, saying, this is probably going to be a 5-game series and it's probably not going to be a very competitive. That's what I picked. I truly thought that Oklahoma City was going to roll this team and that they were going to probably win in 5 and that it wasn't going to be a particularly close 5. And despite that, obviously the game is played on the court and not in press conferences and behind cameras, but this has been an incredible series. And here we are 3-2 going back to Indiana. The real question going into Game 6 is going to be Tyrese Halliburton's health. Can he play? And if he can play, to what extent? Because obviously he still played 34 minutes today in Game 5. But what is the status of him and how well is he going to be able to move on Thursday in Game 6? Where, I'm going to be honest, I think we're crowning a champion. With Halliburton hurt, if he's not a full go, I don't know if this team's going to have, if the Pacers are going to have enough to stop the Thunder. But, Jalen Williams had a great game. SGA had a great game. You win the turnover battle plus 12. That right there is going to win you almost every single game that you play. And Jalen Williams has become an elite player. And this team right now, it's really good. Now, what's going to be interesting is when we start getting to the point where you're going to have to pay all these guys. That's going to be the interesting part with this Oklahoma City Thunder team. But right now, they don't have to worry about that. They're 1 game away from winning an NBA title. All right. I'm going to be back here either Thursday night, Friday morning to talk about the Game 6, whether it's the Oklahoma City winning a championship and hoisting the trophy, or if it is forcing a Game 7, the Pacers do, and we are headed to a Game 7 in the NBA Finals. But we'll talk about that either Thursday night or on Friday. Be sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel and hit the like button if you like this kind of content. Hit that like button. That does a really great job and a great thing to the algorithm, who, we're all just trying to make it. So hit that like button if you like the video, and subscribe if you haven't already, and we'll catch you on the other side. Peace.